Hi. Today we're going to discuss software testing. What is software testing? Why software testing is required? What is software? What are different types of software? So all these topics will be covered in the today's class. Just focus. Like the agenda of the class is what is software? What are the different types of software we have? And what is software testing? Why is testing necessary? How does the quality of the software is determined? You have different layers of application. We'll discuss about it. What are the testing approaches we have? Who are the audiences? And what are the career options we have? And what are the projects will be there in this course? So coming to the software. Generally, people say I work in a software company. So if anyone asks what is software, then, I have seen some people going blank. So what is software? Software is nothing but a collection of programs that help us to perform a task. So what do you mean by software? So it's a collection of programs that help us to perform a task. We have different types of softwares will be there. Suppose like you have system software, we have programming software, we have application software. So each software has a different purpose. Okay. So if you take the system software means we have our keyboards will be there, mouse will be there, printers will be there. So to install these, we need drivers. Okay. So if you want to install a printer, you have separate drivers will be there. And you have a keyboard. I mean, if your keyboard has to function, there will be separate drivers will be there. So for mouse, there will be separate software will be there in the system. All this called as a system software. Okay. So system software means we have keyboard, mouse, printers to install softwares. Operating systems will come, servers will come. All this comes under system software. Next, we have programming software. So programming software means whenever we write a program, we have compilers will be there, we have debuggers will be there, we have interpreters will be there. Compilers means it compiles the program. And debugger means it debugs. I mean, where exactly it went wrong, the program, where exactly it went wrong. All these things will be there. All these things will be done with the help of debuggers. And we have interpreters. Interpreter means computer doesn't understand English language. It only understands in binary language. So with the help of interpreters, the computer will understand English language, which is converted into binary codes, which is nothing but ones and zeros. So interpreters converts our understandable language to computer understandable language, which is ones and zeros, binary codes. So those are interpreters. Those will be there in the programming software. Next, we have application software. So application software means generally application means we have many applications will be there. Like you have web applications are there. We have desktop application is there. So here try to understand the difference between the web application and desktop application. So web application means with the help of internet, the application will run. So without internet, the web application won't work. Example is Facebook, Amazon, all these things. You definitely require an internet. Whereas coming to the desktop application, so you need not have any internet, no internet. That means we have desktop applications like Notepad, calculators, all these things. These doesn't require internet. So only with the help of application we can work. So this is just a simple overview of the software. What is software and what are the different types of software and what is the difference between the different softwares, like what is system software, what is programming software, and what is application software. Next, we have software testing. What is software testing? Why we require software testing? Okay. In software testing, we have two methods will be there. Verification method and we have validation method. So verification method is done by the developers and validation method is done by the testers. So you can say, in verification also, people do testing, a verification will be done. Then again, why we have to go for the validation? Here, I'll tell you a simple example. If one person, he developed a Gmail and he just gave as a username as Ravi123 and he says that it is working fine. It is working fine. Even the password he gives us a Ravi@1234 and he says that it is working fine. Then what is the purpose of testers? Because testers are required, he has to cover all the scenarios. The main purpose of developers is he'll just develop the application and he'll see one or two scenarios and in a positive mind, he says that it is working as expected. The purpose of testers is to make the application fail. That means to break the functionality. Whatever the developer has developed, he has to find faults in it. It's a kind of negative mindset. It doesn't mean that you have to be negative. Testers has to be negative. But while testing an application, he has to break the functionality. So that is the purpose of testers. Suppose you take Gmail, I mean username, password. So password, generally, password should contain one uppercase letter, one lowercase letter, one special character, one numeric character. So all these things will be tested by testers, not developers. Okay. So all these scenarios will be covered by testers. So software testing means we have two methods will be there: verifications. Are we developing the right product or software, which is done by developers, whereas validation, which is done by testers. So is the developer product software is the right one? So they try to make the application fail as many times as possible so that you don't get any bugs in the future. That is the purpose of testers. Okay. Then why is software testing necessary? So while developing, developers, they'll develop a product and they say it is good, it is working as expected. What is the purpose of testing? Because reliability. I mean, see, developers, they develop the product and they'll give it to the client. But the client, he'll just start using, but he don't know like how many days it will work, how many days it will be long lasting. All these things will be covered by the software testing. They do the software test and they'll say these application can be used for these many years. It can be used continuously. It can be used forever because we have tested from all the scenarios, like how many days it can be used. Reliability, that is one option. And the errors. The main purpose of testers is errors. Like, in like previous times, like 15, 20 years back, there is not, there is much testing is done actually. There are many products, they just released it just by developing. So with that, they have many errors, many faults, and the application, ultimately the application got failure. It's because the testing team is not strong. So if the testing team is there, if they find errors and the developers, they'll solve those errors, then the application is successful. Errors, and to avoid failure, because failures are very expensive. So once you developed an application and client spends so much of amount, so much of budget, and after that outcome, that is the application is failure, then it's very expensive. I mean, it has failed. Best quality. I mean, to deploy the quality software. How can you say that the software is very quality? You test all the scenarios, then only you can say the quality is good. And business, obviously, if we have good reputation, if the project is very successful in delivering a good product, then you'll get the business. So why software testing is necessary? All these things will be there. Reliability, to find less faults, to avoid failure, to provide good quality, and to give good business. Okay. Then what is software quality? People say software quality. What is software quality? Software quality means it should be bugs and defects free. Here I just want to know, just know the difference between the bugs and defects. Whenever a tester finds any issue while testing an application, that is called bug. And whenever while developing the product, if he finds any issue, that is called defect. But generally in most of the companies, they use this term interchangeably, bugs and defects. But just know the difference. If the developer finds an issue, it is called defect. If a tester finds an issue, it is called a bug. Okay. Requirements. See, why, how you decide the software is a quality? Because before testing, like, before developing a product also, they'll give requirements. If all the requirements are satisfied, if you're tested with all the requirements, then you say the software is a quality one. If the requirements are missing, then you can't say the software is a quality one. And budget. Software must be within the budget and delivered within the time. So budget means client has some specific budget will be there. So he'll expect, the project to be completed within the time and within the budget. If it is gone beyond the budget and beyond the time, then we can't say it's a quality because it's taking too much time. It's not according to the timelines. So the software quality is decided by budget and time. And it should be user friendly. So software must be user friendly. That means, I'll take an example of WhatsApp. Generally, WhatsApp, if you take the previous generation people, they don't know how to text the message, how to use the WhatsApp clearly. But still, nowadays, all people are using WhatsApp because they know how to call, because we have calling option is there in the WhatsApp and we have video calling option is there in the WhatsApp. So with the help of that, we can call. That means it targeted all types of customer. It is user friendly. You need not be educated. You need not be, very much educated in English or some other language to type a message. Even layman can use WhatsApp. So that means it is very user friendly so that everyone is using. So it is targeting all sections of the people. Then only you can decide it's a software is a quality product. WhatsApp is a quality product because it targeted all the people and it is very user friendly. Then you have service. See, customer maintenance means generally once software is developed, you can't say, our job is done and it's not our duty, because you have to give the maintenance. Generally, in many companies, they'll have some agreements. Once the application is ready, the client will have an agreement with the company that 2 years maintenance should be there. That means once the application is released into the market, if they find any issues, the software company will take care of it. Even that is important. Then only you can say that software is a quality. If you find very less issues in those maintenance period, then you can decide it's a very soft quality product. If you are finding more issues and you are working more on it, then you can't say it's a quality software. So the software quality is very important. Then we'll just discuss about application. I told you what is software and how we'll do testing. I explained about you what is verification and what is validation. Why the developers, they don't do testing. Developers' perspective is different and testers' perspective is different. Then we'll see how we'll test an application. What is application? User interface is one application. I'll explain. We have different layers of application is there. We have presentation layer is there. We have business logic layer is there, and we have data access layer is there. So just take an example, because WhatsApp will be used by everyone. So I'll just take an example of WhatsApp. In presentation layer in WhatsApp, just whatever you have app, that is nothing but a presentation layer, and you just message to your friend, hi, how are you? Okay. So initially it goes as single tick mark. So in backend, what happens in business logic layer, it goes to your friend WhatsApp and delivers to your friend WhatsApp, and it becomes double tick and it becomes double blue tick whenever he sees the message. So all these things will be happening in the backend, which is nothing but a business logic layer. All these things will happen in a business logic layer. Then what is data access layer? Data access layer means all the data will be processed. The background, all these things will be happen. All the data will be there in the data access layer. And from there, again, he will reply that I am fine. So again, from in your WhatsApp, you'll get a message that I am fine. I mean, in your presentation layer, again, you are seeing. That means all these things will happen in the backend business logic layer and the data. Whatever the data you sent, all these things will be there in the data access layer. From data access layer, it goes to again business logic layer. Again, from business logic layer to presentation layer. That means presentation layer, you message, hi, how are you? It goes to business logic layer and it processes that. In business logic layer, I have to send this message that, hi, how are you? So hi, how are you data will be there. It is converted into bits like, zeros and ones with the help of APIs. And through APIs, the data will be stored in data access layer. From data access layer, again, it goes to business logic layer. And from business logic layer, again, it goes to presentation layer. So presentation layer is nothing but a UA, user interface. So you can say presentation layer is nothing but UA, user interface. Then what is business logic layer and what will be there in business logic layer? In business logic layer is nothing but we have APIs will be there. APIs means application programming interface. Generally, UA means generally anyone can give URLs and they'll just open the URL and they do testing here. But in APIs, we have URLs won't be there. We have URIs will be there. That means unified resource identifiers will be there. In unified resource identifier means we'll do testing here. API testing is quite famous. API testing will be performed with the help of Postman. Actually, there is a tool called Postman's, and we perform testing by using different status codes. Status codes will be there, and we'll verify API testing with the help of status codes. And data access layer means nothing but database testing, which is called SQL. So SQL means we have select star statements will be there, database testing. So all these things will be there. I mean, whenever you have to test an application, it's not that, you have to do on UI testing. Many people, they perform testing on API, and maximum, if you do maximum testing in APIs, there is no errors means you have very less errors will be there in the presentation layer. So API means unified resource identifier. URS will be there. You have to perform URS testing there. Then if you do API testing perfectly, you have very less chances of bugs in presentation layer. Probably some UA issues, some very minor issues will be there. Look and feel issues will be there. That can be done in presentation layer. So application means, just remember, we have presentation layer will be there. From presentation layer, it goes to business logic layer. From business logic layer, it goes to data access layer. Again, from data access layer, it goes to business logic layer. Again, from business logic layer, it goes to presentation layer. We will able to see only presentation layer. But for testing team, we'll have APIs will be there with the help of Postman tool. We'll do API testing with URIs with different status codes. Then we have data access layer, database testing also will be done. Depends upon the application, we'll go for the database testing also. So these are some of the application layer example. Okay. So the next topic is types of testing approaches. So we discussed about why software testing is necessary, what is software quality, why we have to go for testing. So we have different testing approaches are there. We have manual testing approach is there and automation testing approach is there. And what is manual testing and what is automation testing? So manual testing means test cases are executed manually without using any automation tool. That means all test cases executed by the tester manually according to the user perspective. Whereas coming to the automation testing, which is used some specific tools to execute the test scripts without any human interface. That means you write the scripts, you run it, you just kept run button in the night and you can see, you can come in the morning and you'll see the results, whether all the test cases are passed or not. So there are like, even if you are automation testing has many advantages. Even if you are good in automation testing, everyone should know manual testing because some builds will be there which is not suitable for automation testing. There will be no option that you have to perform manual testing. So you can't say that, automation testing is good and I don't do manual testing. Even if you have to do automation testing, manual testing knowledge is very compulsory. So manual testing has its own advantages and automation testing has its own advantages. Okay. And coming to the black box testing and system testing, white box testing. What is black box testing? Okay. So if I'm giving test input and I'm getting test output, generally black box testing is done by the testers and white box testing is done by the developers. Suppose I'm giving test input, application build, and I'm getting the test output. That means expected result equal to actual result. Application build is developed by the developers. I need not know what is application build, which language they used, what is the code, how they deployed code. All these things need not be known by the testers. They'll be just given the application, they'll try to give input and they'll try to get the output. Expected result equal to actual result. That's the purpose. So black box testing means you get the build application, whatever the test cases you have, you give the test case input and just verify it is as per the expectation order. You are getting the expected result or not. So you need not know about the application build. That means if you have zero knowledge also, that's fine. That like which language they are using, what is the code, how they are deployed for all these things need not be known by the testers. Okay, who can join the software testing course? Anyone can join the software testing, graduates, undergraduates. You need not have very good technical knowledge in joining the software testing course. Non-IT employees, IT employees, because manual testing anyone can do. Anyone can do manual testing. The only thing is in software testing course, your approach will be more technical. I mean, how to do manual testing. It will be in a systematic procedure. How you develop a test cases, how you develop a test scenarios, and what will be the input, what will be the output. All these things will be learned in the software testing course. So testing is required everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Wherever the development is there, the testing is definitely required. So you have all the opportunities. Web applications, you can do testing. Mobile applications, desktop applications, gaming applications, IoT applications, all these things. So till development is there, testing will be there. Generally, people ask, testing will have less demand because these days some other tools came. It's not like that. Till development will be there, testing will be there, and everything can't be done by mission. Even mission has to do automation testing also. You need automation testing resources, but manual testing will have demand forever. Okay. So the projects we'll be covering in this course is retail management. We have admin portal. So you have e-commerce design. That means all the major domains will be covered in this project. Okay. So about the technology, about the Swhizz technology, you already know what is the purpose, what is the mission means. Whoever comes to Swhizz Technologies, mostly they'll leave as with good offer letters. And the vision is to become the trusted choice in the competitive market. We have more than 8 years of experience. Almost till now, we have 3,000 plus people are placed in MNC. 100% placement is there. More than 5,000 people were trained. Okay. If you have any questions, then yeah, just please let me know. Thank you.